Hello and welcome to another piece of green content from the Green Squad. Barnaby and I represent the Green Squad within Steam Giant Media, and since it's recycling week, we wanted to bring you some fun, interesting and exciting content about recycling.
The rest of our Green Squad have put together some statistics and questions, and we're going to unpack that today. We're going to test our knowledge and see how much we know.
Category 1, plastic.
Plastic recycling has long posed challenges. Unlike glass and metal, plastic cannot be repeatedly recycled without quickly degrading in quality. So our first question is, globally, how many tons of plastic waste do we produce every year? So is it 400 million, 600 million, or 50 million? I mean, I would be inclined to go with the highest number. I mean, I personally think it's 600 million, because I think that it's going to be one of the two numbers, and it's more likely to be the largest number.
Okay.
What do you think?
I thought 600 million, but probably because it's the scariest number out of the options.
Exactly.
And if I was a Green Squad member writing that question, I would think
600 million.
Yeah.
The answer is 400 million.
So the answer was 400 million.
Which is insane. And if anything, it shows there's still so much more that we can do.
So moving on to the second question. So what percentage of single-use plastic products are made from fossil fuel? Is it 18%, 56%, or 98%? I'm going to go with the solid 56%.
Oh, I think 98%.
See, that seems like a very, very absolute number. Like, it's almost everything. And while I know it is obviously used a lot, it would be chaotic to presume that it is that high.
It's actually 98%.
Oh yeah! I'm like happy that I was right, but really sad that that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that is absolutely insane. It shows the need to make the switch to renewable.
And also, how many people are aware of that? Like, when you see plastic, do you think of fossil fuel?
No, I don't.
Crazy.
Question 3. Upwards of how many years does it take for a plastic bottle to degrade? Is it 380 years, 450 years, or 600 years? I feel like this is the sort of question that you see on like infographics and stuff on Facebook a lot, but I'm going to go with 600 years.
380.
380?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm going with.
It's actually 450. So
I nearly went for that. I mean, however you take it, all three of those numbers are immensely high. 450 years is insane.
But the mad thing is, like, just think how many generations before us have still got their rubbish out there. If you've thrown it out your car window, like your parents, then it could still be there right now.
But that also is the problem with landfill. So if the statistics around how little of our recycling is actually recycled, which is another issue entirely, then all of the plastic that is potentially shipped to other countries, that's going to be a problem. It's not just a solution to out of sight, out of mind. Question 4. How many tons of plastic are currently in our ocean? So is it between 30 to 75 million, 75 and 199 million tons, or 199 to 300 million tons? I'm going to go 199 to 300 million.
Okay, I'll go for the lowest one then.
Which is 30 to 75 million.
Yeah.
If you see like things like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, like it's enormous, and they bring out, I saw a thing about it the other day, they've got like a new technique to collecting it with a massive net where biodiversity can go underneath, so there's no bycatch or anything like that, and they just drag it in. And I think that's capable of doing probably like 75 tons per haul, and they're doing that constantly.
It's between 75 and 199.
I knew it was the middle one. There shouldn't be any plastic in the ocean.
No.
There shouldn't be. And I mean, if that's microplastics as well, then you've got all of the big solids, which are all being collected, but you've also got the billions and billions and billions of microplastics, which obviously would all add up.
I think the hardest thing with these kind of questions as well is that we're hearing numbers, but you can't visualise.
You can't quantify that.
Yeah, what does that actually mean? What does it look like? Category 2, paper.
So, paper is one of the most often recycled materials, accounting for half of the materials collected for recycling by weight. So, question 1 of category 2 is, what was almost half of the paper recycled in 2021 used to make? Is it cardboard boxes, greeting cards, or office paper? I'm going to go cardboard boxes.
So I think the most obvious answer is cardboard box. The other thing I'm thinking is that whenever you get a greeting card, I swear it always says something on the back now about being recycled paper or like responsibly sourced. I don't think it's office paper.
It's half. No, I don't think
I think office paper's going to be like virgin trees, for sure. So you got cardboard boxes.
I'm going cardboard boxes.
I'll go greeting cards.
Cardboard box.
Way!
You should have gone with the obvious one.
If cardboard boxes do get recycled, which I think is one of the most easy ones to recycle, right? Your cardboard boxes, as long as they're not like greasy pizza boxes and stuff, generally can all go in there. So,
which is a really good point. How many people know that? You shouldn't put soiled cardboard in your recycling. Category 3, glass.
Glass is made of common materials like sand and limestone, and it is one of the cheapest and most efficient materials to recycle. Which is funny because whenever you go and buy a drink, for example, the glass ones are always more expensive than the plastic ones. So if it's the cheapest to make and recycle.
Is it because it's the weightiest to transport though?
Yeah, that's a good point. Is it cheaper to make glass products from recycled materials or virgin raw materials?
The former would be my preferred answer. Yeah, I think the first one. I think that is the case, and I hope that's the case.
I don't know. I mean, again, yeah, I'd like to think it's recyclable materials. One would assume that to remold it, you'd have to melt it and reblow the glass or reproduce the glass, rather than
sourcing the raw material.
Yeah, melting down the sand and going through the production process to turn that into glass. I'm going to go recycled material.
You are correct. It's
Woo!
recycled material.
Which is positive.
That's positive.
Really good.
Not only were we right, it's a great answer. Category 4, e-waste.
So electronic waste or e-waste is the fastest growing source of waste globally. Most e-waste does not get disposed of properly and releases harmful pollutants into the environment.
I know I'm definitely guilty of having some old phones in the loft.
I think I read somewhere that there was either a new law passed or something like that where they have to be better at refurbishing the phones to prevent constant upgrades and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm talking about my Samsung V200, which is like one of the first colour phones. It's a flip colour phone. That bad boy does nothing for me now. That's just in the loft.
So, I mean,
stuff like
you
that.
could probably recycle it.
Precious metals in it, get them back out.
I suppose it's things like emails as well, like a certain amount of storage, server space that goes into carbon.
Massively, yeah.
Stuff, so.
I think like we talked about numbers earlier and saying that you can visualize. If you can visualize it, it's easier to think of the impact. But actually, when it comes to digital, all those emails are in a server somewhere. Yeah, that's using energy to keep that.
What percentage of e-waste discarded in 2019 was recycled? Is it 16.4%, 11%, or 17.4%? I want to go with a solid 11%.
Yeah, I think I'm more inclined to agree.
People don't associate having an email in their inbox with taking up energy or carbon or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's 17.4%.
Okay, yeah.
Still very, very low.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got an old phone, I know there's a couple of companies that like things like Music Magpie. Places like that.
And category number 5, our final category, it's food.
Chronic food misallocation and inefficiency have caused food waste to be the largest category of waste. I mean, we actually did something with this in the Green Squad.
We did, yeah.
Last couple of months about food waste. Some of the statistics over how much is wasted is horrifying. Things like the global bycatch and absolutely appalling how many tons of fish are caught every year, and that I think it was about 10 or 11% of that is wasted globally.
Yeah, it's just discarded.
I mean, ethically, that's thousands and thousands and thousands of lives that are just being wasted for no reason. So what percentage of global greenhouse gas emissions is generated by food waste? Is it 4%, 27%, or 10%? I'm going with 27%.
I was going to say 27%.
Actually 10%.
10%.
But then, okay, so that's food wasted. You talk about agriculture, for example. A large part of that is food production, right? That constitutes a massive portion of food waste. By cutting down food waste, potentially there could be the knock-on effect of a lower production, therefore decreasing agricultural emissions. Yeah. So by reducing food waste, you're potentially not only decreasing how much global greenhouse emissions are caused by that, but having knock-on effects in other industries as well.
That's interesting. I thought that, yeah.
Cool. Well, that brings us to the end.
So, what have you learned from today? What do you think like the key takeaways are? It's recycling week after all.
Yeah, I think that all the statistics are significantly more negative than we would like. I think that it's optimistic to assume that one day it'll be 100%. However, through education, we could definitely increase those numbers.
I think it's highlighted also the different forms of recycling. Like people think of the usual plastic bottle, cardboard, but like the e-waste is a prime example. Like how many people have thought about that? There's also the range of things that can be recycled that should be considered as well.
We've been the Green Squad. Thank you for watching, and we hope you've learned something because we have.
If you want to know more about the Green Squad, go to our website. Go now.
But recycle on the way.
Bye.